There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We talk about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us the end of promise from them. The welcome and life without again.
I lyrical
Master.
Play Paris who make you I can't Sktv venue. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And you no money, and more I yo. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmaster.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmaster.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise from them. The work with my life without yeah. From Kansas and Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Central, Brooklyn, Kidman, Monserrat, San Tobacco, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
But I'm told that while the demolition was ongoing, Senator Sir Joseph Mosselado County placed call to the public work team, appeal to them to cease the demolition exercise from now until further notice, on ground that the Senate Committee on Public Work working closely with the Ministry of Public Work to see how best they can address the issues that have to do with the demolition exercise. One of the issues he raised is that the well-being of those people whose properties will be demolished. The government should find a place for them before demolishing their property, or give them a compensation package before demolishing their property. So according to Sir Joseph, those discussions are ongoing with the Ministry of Public Work and that of the Senate Committee on Public Work. So it was on the basis of that the team ceased the demolition exercise and then left. But according to them, while the demolition was going on, some residents of this community was stoning the public work team.
Yes, indeed. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And what a way to go, folks. Well, today's Friday. What the time left on the end for us here in Liberia is 4 minutes, nearly 5 minutes past 6. Indeed, that's the time check. Yes. So good evening, good morning, good afternoon. And based on your location, we don't know exactly your time lag from your end, but for us here, it's in the evening time. Today is 7, maybe still be the 6, maybe around your end. But for us here is the 6th of November, the 7th month, and yes, the 7th month, the 7th of the 11th month in the year 2025. Indeed, good evening. Share the show, people. Yeah, we just keep disturbing the line. Yeah, man. Some of you making us to look. The country is interesting. share the show. Let me see. I'm sharing the link around so that the other team member will also join us on today. Yes, I'm sharing the link around. It's not easy to they look. Sometimes when Steve come here and say the show will be hot, some of you be thinking if the boy talk about hot, what are you talking about? But today the show will be more than hot because people will lead you into the bad attitude, and same people that will be holding their hands, be pretending like you are the only person who, who had, or how you may call. But anyway, good evening. Let's share the show. I'm sharing the link around to our followers, our viewers, and that our panelists. Those of you who are always with us here this evening. Let me see. Yes. I think this.
So all these negotiations are ongoing with the Ministry of Public Works before demolition can take place. But earlier on, the Ministry of Public Works team were here, and this is what they did before talking to Sir Joe said. There were homes that were being broken down just a few minutes ago. So you can see here, this is what happened. So the name is George Cooper, live here from the Woodrow Town community. So you see here, this, so people are now taking their belongings from the house that were being demolished.
So indeed, people are now taking their belongings to the house that are being demolished. Can you imagine the people who come to rescue people? Oh God. When we come here, we want to talk. Look, some of us will retire from politics and even from what we do. Let me be frank. Because this country of ours, it is indeed interesting. It is indeed interesting. When I don't know how many of you that watch the movies called Isakaba. If you watch Isakaba, now have Labio look. The same group of people who thinking, or if I was saying that the country is terrible, the country is this and that, the government officials, things are happening. I think people who are also supporting the kind of bad, things or habits or the kind of bad, or what you may call. So good. The asset recovery team is back. People who also benefited from people. Melbourne is criminal, for example. Melbourne is criminal. Melbourne connected to you. And asset recovery is saying that Melbourne is criminal or alleged that Melbourne is criminal. Then you also benefited from Melbourne. You posting. This country of ours, whenever politics will play. But folks, good evening. Let's start the show. The team will be here. I'm seeing behind the scene there, I'm seeing Mr. Dollar already entering. But today we'll be having today we'll be having Mr. Sekou Kamara, also from the land dispute in Red Light. He's in fact is one of the one of the interest from the land dispute in Red Light. I think that happened sometime last week Saturday. So we'll bring it on so that you will be able to explain to us about some of the happening. But people, look, if you don't retire from politics, we will make you to retire from politics by force. Because politics is fake. He said that you're insulting your brother and sister. That will people, share the show, and the show be hot. For us here, we not come here to come sugarcoat anything. But the raw truth. That's why you hear from us. Politics is fake. And the people in politics, they always do these things to confuse you. And at the end of the day, you two, oh yes. Look, there's someone asked me today, maybe what say you with the happening about the asset recovery? How you see the government? They've been calling back to back. Because but where's Steve when people I want to see Steve? I want to see Steve. So they're calling us back to back because they not trust other people who within. They not trust people who are benefited from the same rating system. So they want to ask people outside, what say you? How you see the system? The only way that I may bomb, I will be the Liberia judicial system or the law of our land is making progress. And I see police officer fully dressed with his badge and asking, telling us that yes, indeed, I'm Officer Paul. In fact, you don't even asking, but you will see right here. His badge, his ID number, everything will be placed right here. Then you know that Liberia judicial system is making progress. But where police officers say wearing T-shirt from Monday to Saturday, a woman may want to believe that we're making progress. We're not making no progress. It's a witch hunt. Any other way you want to term it, it's a witch hunt. Yes, indeed. But let me bring Mr. Dollar on. People, shut the show. Mr. Dollar, good evening. How you looking? Wow, Mr. Dollar in the studio though. But Mr. Dollar, good evening.
Hello, how you doing?
Well,
Neighbor, you okay?
Yes, Mr. Dollar, I'm okay. Thank God for life. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm okay. Thank God. How everything?
Everything going fine, mate. Everything going wonderful tonight. So I'm so glad to be in the meeting tonight at the Tussle. We got a lot to say tonight.
Wonderful. We have a lot to talk about tonight, and Steve will be here because, as usual, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Steve always in control. But before Steve comes, Monk or Mr. Kenneth come on, we controlling things. But Mr. Dollar, quickly, what say you? What are some of the things that you missed during the week?
Well, to be honest, one of the things that really is tormenting me in Liberia situation today is the information that these guys end up putting out, the asset recovery people, about some of the perpetrators that they can't get hold on. And he said that a lady by the name of Finabono had left the country, and they got some evidence to substantiate that she made away with several number of the country money, put the company in her daughter names, all this kind of unscrupulous behavior. So it's very training to me. I don't know how they're going to get at some of these people, and what is the next step that they're going to take. Also, a lady that was transported to Central Prison, Madame Soiree. So I don't know what kind of evidence they have on this woman that they took to Central Prison.
Wonderful, Mr. Dollar. Thank you. What are you talking about? The asset recovery thing. That means your entire attention is about the latest news trending in Liberia. So that's good. Thank you so much for that. But I'll move into that quickly, saying you wrote about that. Mr. Dollar.
Yeah.
With the issue of the asset recovery thing, in fact, that moved back to the previous government headed by former President George Manawia, where they see our activities, happen, and the former president by then, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, some were also jailed for some of these activities and so forth. What say you, Mr. Dollar? Thank God that you are one of the older person that are going to be here with us tonight on the show. But what say you in the process? Are the process meant for political expediency, or are the process just about people just downing and wanting, making sure that the job cajole our people, or what say you, Mr. Dollar?
For me, John Weir then regime was now a serious regime to me, because for matter of fact that there was a lot of hungry people that were just coming into power and took over and wanted to fill their pocket. So for this reason, they could not do anything better. Uh, they went to where and pick Madame Ellen Jersey's son and then take them to court and send them to central prisons and later on release them with no credits on their decisions and all this stuff and things. I believe that all of their hands were in the cookie jar. So for this reason, they couldn't keep the people in jail for indefinitely because they themselves were doing something that was not correct at all. The procedural systems was a fiasco. So obviously they couldn't keep the people in jail for good. That's the reason why they put them out sooner or later. But from the start to finish of George Weah administrations, all was just filling up their pocket, the how I see it to be. So they were not serious, and that's the reason why I don't think the Liberian people should give them a second chance to come back again to raise the country to the ground. Because if they come back, I bet you two things they will do. They will do revenge, one, and they will also do the last raking the country. Because they're gonna rob the entire nations. Because at the end of the day, when the second time finish, that's it. They're not coming back, they know. But so they will rip the countries to the fullest. So I don't think it's necessary for the Liberian people to give them a chance to come back. The Unity Party have already showed their true color to the Liberian people. So the two parties need to be left out completely. The how I see it to be. And one of the things that
Mr. Dollar, I know we will go to that, even though Mr. Connor joining us. But my question specifically had to do with the statement or the thing you talk about the asset recovery. So I was asking you, I know time for election for me. I don't want to come here and talk about who will win, who will not win, and all the kind of thing for me. I don't want to waste my time because all Liberians, citizens who are about 18 years and above, they have the right to vote for whosoever they want to. So for me, I don't want to come here and waste my time because I know Liberians, I know the way they think, I know the way they do things, I know the way they behave. So when it comes to the issue of who will be this, who will not be this, well, it's in their hand. But I'm asking you about this issue of the asset recovery team that happened. My point is that happened during the previous government, and the former president's son was jailed. Now we're still seeing the same thing, the same trend still continuing. Will the one name continue to make headway, which have to do with Finabono? So I'm asking you, how you see it? Whether is it political driven, or it's just a normal thing, or it's ballot? I'm asking you. Then we'll move to Mr. Kane.
Yeah, the first case that they have started by going after Finabono, they're supposed to bring sufficient evidence to prosecute her. And I believe that some of the information I'm just getting, I don't know how true it is. We meant to stay investigate, to deep up, to see whether it's true that Finabono is now around at this moment. She have left the country, so I don't know how true it is, but we stay investigating to know that. But I think it's necessary for any government, whether Joseph Barker government or any other government that come into power, to go after people that loot the country. If there's any evidence to prosecute these people, they need to be arrested. But one of the things that really I can't really get over, the sticking into one person, and there's a lot of evidence, greatest in the country that not only Finabono alone, was a looter of our country. So many people were looting the country. Even the brother-in-law of the former president, they had a gold mine somewhere around between Sano and Grand Basses. How they were there, nobody are even investigating that. These are the foreigners that were there digging up the gold and stuff and things there, our natural resource. Nothing is seen about this thing there. So it's very, very scary.
Good. Thank you so much. So we have Mark and we have Mr. Connor already here with us on the weekend edition of the SKTV show, even though Steve will be here with us very soon. But Mr. Connor, good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Melbourne. How you doing?
Well, we okay though. Thank God for life.
Yeah, so I'm doing great. What is going on? Have you done with talking about the happenings in the country, or you already into the show?
Look, I think I have one last comment to make. If Mr. Sekou
Yeah,
don't
Mr.
have
Dollar, please hold on. Mr. Dollar, a second, please. Even though I was asking you about things you missed during the week that how you brought in about the entire later news, but Mr. Connor is asking whether we're already done with some of the trending.
Because the reason why I say that, before you dive into the show, you always update
Exactly.
the public and the team on the trending issues in the country as to what is going on. So that way, once we're done with that, because we don't want to be going, you know, through the show and then you come back again and start updating us as to what is going on. Because we may not touch everything, but when we know exactly some of the trending issues in the country right now, then we can choose which one to talk about, as well.
Yeah.
Well, so Mr. Connor, you are quite correct. So one of the trending national issues have to do with the asset recovery team and the arrival of the president from his visit from France and that of the UAE. So far so good. These are two trending national issues that we may later talk about. So the asset recovery team today, they have their press conference and they have, according to them, 40 persons, including the former chief of office assistant to to the former president, Finambono, who also was accused of so many crimes, money laundering, and so many things. So that one, and also the president visitation to France or the UAE. So maybe these are two major issues that are trending right now in Liberia. So far so good. Mr. Dollar started, so I don't want to waste any time. That's why we just begin with the conversation. But that's good. Thank you for asking. And so far so good. These are things happening back in
Okay.
Mr. Tom.
So, thank you so much. Like I said earlier, a lot going on in the country. We may not be able to touch everything that is going on, but there are some things going on that you did not touch, which is what happened yesterday. The Liberian people in the city of Banga, Bon County, they got up to react to what the government did to them, or what the government is doing to them, about stopping the bridge that they wanted to be built that connect communities within Banga City. And they spoke clearly. Some of them even, cried why the government has to do this to them. They appeal to the government. The Liberian government should stop the witch hunt, stop playing politics with development to allow the CMC to build a bridge for them. That is something very important. It's a big deal. And whatever the government is doing right now, with regards to the other thing you touched about the asset recovery, the asset recovery thing is not a new thing. The asset recovery thing is a fiasco. We all said this from the beginning, that the government of Liberia reserved the right to establish a team to do asset recovery. But we said first thing first. When you come, some of the promises that the government made, the president said you're going to make sure you audit all sectors of government, and you're going to make sure that every member of his government will do what we call asset declaration. And then they will start to prosecute cases on the docket, especially corruption cases. But yet the government came and got involved with corruption, stealing millions of dollars from the Liberian people, thereby making it difficult to give them any credibility to carry on corruption. I mean, carry on the fight for against corruption, because one who actually wants to fight against corruption, you must be able to present yourself as a clean hand. But you can't be involved in corruption that you want to project the notion that you are fighting against corruption. You can't get it both ways. And every time when they are called to account, they will bring some diversionary or destructive, mechanism to confuse the Liberian people as what their priorities are. They don't know exactly what they want. They don't know what they are doing. As long as they are stealing, the moment they get caught, as long as they are abusing power, the moment they get caught, the moment they are called to account, then they will create some noise, some mess under the name of fighting corruption. We saw the corruption case against the former finance minister. Where did that go? When McGill started to talk about this corruption, they said, McGill, you two, you were corrupt. If you thought again were corrupt, we'll prosecute you. What happened to that McGill investigation? What happened to countless in other cases? The government said, the government campaigned that the auditors were killed by Georgia government. What happened to that investigation? So all these things are fake. They are cherry picking. Nobody is against the government fighting against corruption, but everybody should be against selective justice or involving in corruption at the same time pretending to fight corruption. That is being very, very bad. It's against the Liberian people. Nobody should think that people don't want to see the government fighting corruption, but the government itself should not be involved in corruption at the same time pretending that they are fighting corruption. This is wrong, and I think it's a fiasco. Even those who were initially appointed to serve on the scene or asset recovery, some of them resigned because of the corrupt nature of their operation. We Liberians, we can forget so soon. I just want to remind our people that this government is not a serious-minded government. This government is corrupt government. I mean, how can you be talking about corruption with Joseph Baga taking $10 million to take it to FOIA with no clarity? The press secretary says she don't know. Minister of State for Presidential Affairs giving questionable answers. Baga is saying remain mute on it. Nobody saying anything. Hey man, this in the bonus thing started with taxes. When they arrested a bunch of yellow taxis, they said if a bonus stole from the country. Somebody started owning those taxes until they were made shame. So this whole thing is all a distraction. It's all about being distracting the Liberian people because they have no sense of direction. They have no policy. They have no plan for Liberia. All they do, they will steal. When they are called to account, they will create some kind of commotion to confuse the Liberian people. This is how I see it, and that's a fact.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Khan. Even though there are so many questions I will be asking you on the show, or in fact the rest of the team, but Mark is here. Mark, good evening and welcome. What say you with all of the trending national news?
Well, I'm doing okay. I'm just following the news happening in the country, all the latest development. The trending one, the major one is the one with the asset recovery team. You know, when the news pop up, the first thing I posted on my wall, I said, in politics, if you can shift public opinion and you can understand persuasion and performance act, then the sky is the limit for you. For me, I already know what's going on in Liberia. I know it's all political theatrics, but the average president in Liberia going to interpret it differently. They believe the government is fulfilling a campaign promise. They believe that for the first time in their lifetime, in recent memory, they have seen people who are corrupt being taken to jail or under the law. That's how they're going to interpret it. So it's not about my opinion or what Sekou is saying. That's a moral argument to make. They say he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. You will want to expect the people who trying to persecute other people to do the right thing. But when you win election, they tell you that election have consequences. You are not the one that make decision. The people that are in power are the one that make decision, and that's one of the leverage they do have. And I love the narrative you laid from the beginning when you talk about what happened under President we are with Madam Salif, Charles Salif. That was a good thing. The mistake is when you are given power, when you come here against your opponent, right? When you step in on their neck, you want to make sure you kill them. You don't want to make them to bounce back. The difference between the asset recovery honor we are in this time, the difference is it happened with how they call the guys. It was Milton Weeks, Charles Salif, and one Dogba Hogba right from the central bank for that map or exercise money. The biggest mistake the CDC government made was to undermine their own asset recovery. Because according to the law, our lawmakers are the one that authorized the central bank to print banknotes. They printed 3 times more than what they were authorized. But guess what? There are loopholes in the law coming to fit monetary policy at the central bank that under certain circumstances, the bank governors and the team, they necessarily don't require the signature of lawmaker to print additional money based on economic circumstances. That was the loophole Charles Salif exploited. And the biggest mistake from the WIA government was when they hired the Crows to come and do a forensic audit. They withheld critical information from their own investigation because they were part of it. That's what undermined that whole central bank issue. Because they redacted the report. They were not even forthcoming by giving the right information to the people to do the forensic audit. That's why that report just died or natural death, because the sitting government at the time, they undermined their own report. In this case, look, let me tell you, let me be fair. I'm not a fan of the rescue mission, but with the optics here, like I said, people will interpret it that he's doing the right thing. Even though he himself corrupt. We're talking about some presidential villa in Foya. What they are literally telling you is, we will do what we want to do. You can document our crimes. The day you take state power, then you can come after all. But they won't come to prosecute themselves. No. They will create this optics. It's all about the politics, all about the theatrics that we are doing better. We are reinforcing this argument about corruption. We are fulfilling campaign promises. And that's exactly what they are doing. But like I said, in Liberia, the average person is not going to interpret it that way. The moment the list came out, when I saw the name, I said, no, they did it in alphabetical order. Why do you think? Because they want to put it in a bundle and I don't know, what kind of group of company at the money laundering company at the top of the list. And what you see now, all the picture of a daughter, this, how they call it Nigerian guy, said, how you call your hush puppy, with all the Louis Vuitton bear, the Christian Dior. Why do you think they are doing it? It's theatrics. How people are going to interpret it. That's just what it is. And that's what they are doing. So at the end of the day, my brother, when you are not in a position of power, you can talk all you want, but the people who run the show, they are the one calling the shot. They can tell you, say, oh, it's our strategy. We want to take it from down to the top. So people will say, okay, what happened to Samuel Tuer? What happened to McGill?
But where I was coming on, because that's a question.
Never, let him conclude. Once you conclude, then you can ask another question. Just let him conclude.
So they can tell you, because for me, I won't hear from the big fish, right? The people who they say store on the industrial scale, like the top, okay? But they can tell you, say, oh, that's our strategy. We want to go for the smaller fish, and we can use the smaller fish to get to the bigger fish. But who am I? I cannot question that decision. They control the justice ministry. They are the one in power. They are the one putting cases on the docket, even though we don't even have a criminal code that is being established yet to expedite all the cases. But like I said, they will play the theater, they will play the politics. The question is, how many people are seeing it from the angle from which we are seeing it? That's the difference. If the public believe that Joseph Boakai is doing a good job, they will benefit politically. But I know what is happening. But in Liberia, I don't know how many people can make the case. All they know, Joseph Boga is prosecuting criminal. He going after assets. He bringing the government money back. It's the same way when it comes to president making foreign trip. Even though they are the one getting paid the most, the average president like bro believe that the president going hustle to can bring job for them. Even though he's not bringing no job, he's not bringing anything. At the end of the day, matter of fact, you are the one paying him for even traveling. But at the end of the day, how many people are going to see it for what it is? And that's the argument. That's the politics of it. So let me stop there. Maybe I can take it from there.
Good, wonderful. So my question to three of you had to do with the issue, in fact, I just mentioned, because Liberians, there are people that have been censored, Mr. Kane, for corruption and so forth, and these people today, they are still passing around. In fact, some of them, they have been given positions to also serve. But with the name of Finabono keep surfacing in this asset recovery team, for me, I don't get it. I don't understand. But what's the three of you, what's the rationale between, or in fact, with the entire of Finabono and that the government keep going after Finabono instead of going after McGill, Samuel Toy, and all the rest of the other people that been censored, Mr. Kane?
Yeah, Mr. Dolly want to go first, then you go.
Yeah, I want to comment on one of this information that Sekou just popped up, which I have a lot of information about it concerning about my county. I'm from Bon County. I listened to the interview of the citizens of Bon counties because I understand both language, the Medingo, the Pele, the English. I was speaking during that interview. I listened to people the elderly people, what they were saying, the young people, what they were saying. But I bet you, we, the people from Bon counties, have doing everything possible to make sure that the good intention of CMCs will go on. We will put our lawmaker then foot on fire to make sure that this thing then go on, because we are collecting a lot of evidence to associate that there's a politics playing in that thing. So for these reasons, the people from Bon are not going to say that supposedly to allow the serious witch hunt going on against CMC. I'm now a CMC partisans. But I am fan of development of my country. If any citizens of our country decide to do some development in my countries, I will really embrace that person. So we got special task force that setting up to get on our lawmakers to put their feet on fire to make sure that this thing go on. But in connection with Finabono issue, the way I'm looking at it as an investigator is this. The government said that they collected a lot of evidence. The asset recovery teams got nothing to do with the former finance minister and the former minister of state for presidential affairs. They might get to them for corruption. The special teams responsible for corruptions, or the administrative team that are responsible to investigate the corruptions aspects of our country, they will go after them, and they already indicted one of the big fish, which is the former finance minister. They say they're going to investigate. We will wait and see what they will do about it, because I believe that they are dragging their feet on that issue, and something fishy is going on with that. So I will not make much comment on that, because if you are making a comment on issue, you must have some fact to associate. But I don't have many facts on that. But I'm liaising with a couple of friends who I might likely get some information deeply concerned about the way the government looking at the former finance minister case. The Finabono issue, the asset recovery team, these are the first corporates that they started with. So obviously they got to continue with Finabono issue until they finish it. Then we see how they're going to finish it. That's what I can say in this matter. So, Mr. Connor, you can come up. But we the people from Bon counties, I'm not sleeping. We're going to make sure we already got our special task force.
Thank you.
To make sure that for the government feed.
So, Neighbor, what was the question again?
So the question has to do with why the government, or in fact, why they have an asset recovery team, why they are not calling the other names, especially those names that have been sanctioned for corruption and so forth. But almost all the time, only Finabono name you will be hearing. And say Finabono, another 40%. Even if you go down to the names that have been posted by our Spoon Network, you will see so many names, even some of the names have nothing to do with the previous government or future administration. So my question is, why the government or maybe the asset recovery team always going after Finabono instead of
so a few things, Mabel. First of all, I want to be clear here. I am not against the government fighting corruption, and I'm not convinced that there should be some smoking, like whether or not there's smoke. And in Liberia, we believe where there's smoke, there is fire. I believe Finabono was the right hand man of George Weah. Do I believe that George Weah is corrupt? Absolutely. That's a fact. But my problem with the government is we can't fight corruption with you as you're corrupt. It makes no sense. It's like you're digging hole for yourself. Because that government is not going to be, in power perpetually. At some point, they will be removed. Whether or not they win the next election or the one after that, they're not going to be in power forever. I believe they're not going to be there after 2029. And they will be prosecuted, not like somebody paying back or reprisal or somebody trying to, retaliate. No, that's the norms. But the thing is, you who is prosecuting, you should not be corrupt. Dirty water can clean, can never clean dirty water. So you can't wash your dishes with dirty water and eat food inside. It will not make sense. But again, to your question, whether or not they are targeting Finabono or Finabono being the first person, I'm not sure what they have. But it seems like they have something. The way they go about it, that's my problem. But persecution is not a bad thing. Being indicted, being accused doesn't mean you are guilty. Finabono and all other people who are accused, they have the right to get a lawyer. And they should request the process to be more transparent so the Liberian people will follow and see exactly what happened. I believe their government, when you see them, insisting on Finabono, because they know for a fact that George Weah, right-hand person, was Finabono. They want to get at George Weah, but they don't know how. Because the Constitution of Liberia prevent them from going after George Weah. That's the reason why we said that the Constitution has to be amended. They feel that George Weah stole a lot. They feel that George Weah is a criminal. They feel that they want to displace George Weah. They want to attack George Weah, but they don't know how. Sir Finabono was the chief of staff for George Weah, chief of protocol for George Weah. So they're trying to do something that anything that Finabono is getting off, people will believe that George Weah got something to do with that. And in this case, I listened to the guy who was talking about, I don't know his position, who the hell he was. He talked about one person being arrested already. And he gave that as a reason, one of the reasons why he decided to talk about the case. They already have somebody being arrested. He said there are about 40 people. And he said they are working with international laws and other, commitment and connection with other Interpol and other international security agencies to make sure people who supposed to be indicted, people who supposed to be arrested are arrested and be brought to justice. Let's watch and see. Let's watch and see as to what will happen. For me, like I said, I'm not against prosecution of corrupt-minded people, and I do believe that Georgia government was corrupt, but I just feel that this government is not serious-minded government. There's no genuine quest here to prosecute. There's nothing whatsoever. It's all about showmanship. It's all about trying to gather somebody, disgracing somebody. It's all about distraction, distracting people from their failure to govern, from their failure to, to produce, their failure to carry on any developmental agenda. They're stealing the corruption, the traveling, everything they are doing. They want to distract our people from that. Even stopping people from building bridges, road, all those things they want to distract us, acting as if they are working. Nobody will go against this government if they were serious, if they have some genuine quest to have justice in our country. But no, it's not about that. If it's about that, they themselves will not be stealing, they will not be involved in corruption. They were going to start fighting corruption at the gate. But they started stealing right at the gate. So what moral ground could they stay on to even prosecute somebody? So I think both CDC and and United Party are embarrassment for Liberia, and they will keep doing this, keep projecting the idea that if it's not CDC, it's United Party, not United Party, it's CDC. Keep creating that a classical idea in the mind of the people, so that it can always look like that CDC fighting government and a government fighting CDC. At the end of the day,
Mr. Kennedy, your line is back.
Wonderful. Yeah. Mr. Kennedy, is your line.
Why be to my line? No, my line should not be granted because I'm here. I'm not doing anything. I'm not moving. I'm sitting in one place. I even not working. But
you're much better, Mr. Kennedy, but
you're better now.
Okay. Let me conclude. Let me conclude what I was saying. What I was trying to say here is that these guys, both CDC and Unity Party, they're not good for Liberia. But this government, they don't have any seriousness in them. They're not ready to prosecute anybody. They're not ready to carry on any investigation whatsoever. This is just meant for showmanship, and they want to distract Liberian people from real issues, from everything going on within the Unity Party, the infighting, the Joseph Barker health issue, everything are going on. They're trying to distract Liberian people from on it, so that we can be distracted. They can continue to steal them as much as they can, so that the next government will come and see nothing there. But the good news is they will be prosecuted, all of them.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Kane. Steve just joining us, the chairman, the social chairman, even they come a little bit late. But Mark, before Steve come on, I guess you already, maybe you heard the question, and you want to chip in quickly before we move to Steve Bonnie. But what say you, Mark?
Well, it's almost the same thing. I'm not going to change my statement here. They got a moral aspect you can make. They got a political aspect. The people that are in power, they are the one that set the course. Don't forget the other recurring thing was temporarily shut down by the Supreme Court. They just reopened the activity for 9 months. And there is an anti-graft campaign. So you cannot say it's a witch hunt because the LACC, the GAC, all of them are part of it, including the Supreme Court. They are given due process. The reason you see that the Anita group is being targeted, because when you read the 36-page report, because there are 36 pages, they are making a case that this Anita group was set up in a way to be like the front end of this money laundering operation. But they got 40 other individuals attached to it. Let me tell you, Unity Party people, they are operatives. They will work their way up. Georgia will be the target. The first lady will be part of it. They signed up to all of them. They know exactly what they are doing. They are setting it up in a way to bypass certain procedure, like you said, constitutionally. They're not going after Finnabondo because she's the only one. No, they believe that most of the activity was happening with her establishment being the front end. So they starting from the beginning and they will work their way up. So if you believe that you got more exhibit, you can put in code, you can submit, then now what? You go for the low-hanging fruit. Because even in America, they had to do it. You go for the smaller fish, you nail the smaller fish, and then force the smaller fish to flip on the bigger fish. So maybe that's a strategy judicially. I don't know. They are the government. They are the one that control the justice ministry. They control all levels of government. But the one thing that I know, they are working their way up, and they will do it in a way systematically as we get closer to the election. You just watch. This is just the beginning, because when you involve the Supreme Court and the early season, all the anti-graft institutions, then, like I said, you cannot keep making the case that there's a political witch hunt, because they are given due process. They will go to court, they will have the lawyer, and the government will give their exhibit in terms of giving evidences as to why they came up with this indictment. So that's all I can say for now, Mabel.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mark. So, Steve, thank you, my dear brother, for joining us, even though you coming a little bit late, but it's good to be in the house. And the 4 hosts is here tonight. We're going to be here up to 8 o'clock. Papa, brother, welcome. What say you with all of the 20 national issues, national news, and all of the things back to back, accusations, allegations, and so forth?
Well, thank you. The chairman got stuck on a lengthy call. Maybe a lot of things working behind the scenes, folks. The chairman is here. Y'all don't worry. That Sktv, we can predict what will happen before it happens. No radio station in Labrador won't challenge any radio station. No podcaster on Facebook. No station on Facebook or on any other media that have correctly predicted what will happen, whether it was George Weah government or the Unity Party government. It has not happened. Then Sktv. We don't get the credit for it, but it is what it is. We'll continue to say the truth. We were the first group of people to buttress Monks and Seku's comments, because of the 2 comments I heard when I came on. To buttress their comments, we were the first group of people on Sktv that predicted that United Party will lick George Weah, they will lick Musa Hassan Bede, they will lick Alexander Kume, and everybody saying the way they will lick you. We predicted and we stand by it today. Let me say this to you. It will not be small noise. The noise will be big. I think I see Sinisian and passing around making noise. You ain't ready. You ain't ready for what coming for you. You ain't ready for the show. That big time show coming on. That big body show you're coming getting. Like Monk said, if you think United Party will take power over, you wasting your time. United Party will issue on Georgia. They're here today. They will issue on Georgia if it cause them to lack Georgia or they lack it, and you're going to do nothing. And the day the boy hang on Georgia and me, I will support United Party. You're here today. We the one that can call Zaga logo me. I will call a Zaga logo too. A part of the Zaga logo group. We can be laughing and not friendship. We can tell you the truth. We the one can tell you the truth. And that's why you hate us. The thing that you don't know, CDC people, the land is set for Georgia. The trap is set for Georgia. They will dirty Georgia. That's not a joke. The first thing they're doing with Georgia, systematically, they're moving a chair from all around him. It's like they're playing chess. They're on a chess board. They're moving all the people they are around, all the security around, all the people who they're not close to him, attached to him. They make sure they indict them before they come to the real. You think that noise that came out, United Party people say they investigating Clara Weah in that particular mansion, that particular school that she got. You think United Party people joking with it? You really think so? You're off for a rude awakening. You think this is a joke? And let me tell you today, let me say it. I will stand with United Party-led government if they have the proofs, the evidences to show that George Weah was corrupt, that the CDC was corrupt. I will stand with them. By the time you all know that some of all we stand for what is true and what is right. By the time you all know that day, you'll be bouncing around. You'll be messing around. Is how they give me Musa Hassan better than run around? Yeah. Is how they bouncing around? When he goes to the game, he goes to the game.
Play Unity Party.
You think there's a joke, eh? You think there's a joke? ANC people back there watching there. Ain't you the top player? Ain't you smart? Ain't you not playing ball? You're not balling with your friend who know ball, but the criminals in knowing ball. You're not bothered with them. Let me tell you what I would do to Kumi. Kumi, nobody not carrying through the process before they missing. But they understand the thing that Kumi's pull out. Y'all go sit down. And you tell the people say, oh, Kumi get the other shop that he got and get the other business that investing in. I challenge any one of you to go say it in public. I give you less than 3 months. They will go after Kumi's there. The United Party is in to consider their power. Let me tell you today. They don't want to leave power. And they're not handing power over the job we are. Let me tell you today. The United Party will not hand power over the job we are. War will come in our country before United Party hand power over the job we are. You hear me today? And we'll come back to this conversation. The United Party will rather yo in our country than hand power over the job. You hear it today. If you're thinking a joke, the only people that can remove the United Party that's somebody different and not CDC. And CDC will dismantle your man. They will look. You know, I don't even want to go in the strategy that they get for you. They will displace you. They strategically and politically they will use. Let me tell you something. You think that guy is saying that what our Chief Justice?
Yeah.
You think that there for nothing?
Yeah, you think there for nothing.
You not ready yet? You might go out for nothing cover what they do. Easy for nothing cover passing around like refugee in your own country. You see nothing yet. That the men are boho in for nothing cover case. That the men make Chief Justice and you won't sit down. You're passing around.
And you know, Steve, when you look at the whole case, the way the men are doing drip, the men are doing that thing with calculation of elections. They will bring their own case at another. By the time we get to the election cycle, it will have risen to the top. And like I can tell Sedition right now, George, we are on a United Party regime. He might not let them even be on the ballot because by the time we get close to election, they will start bringing indictment against him. That's what they will do. They will work their way from the Samuel 12, the McGill, the Eugene Namwe. They will work their way bit by bit until they can get the top. That's why I used to complain. I said, your first lady, you're put in this budget constitutionally. She's not a Liberian. 1, 2, she's not a public official to be getting paid. But no, for them, they put in the budget, they say your office girl, you're not a government employee. Why are you going to be in the national budget? That's a crime by itself. So United Party, they are not going to reinvent crime. The crime has already been committed. They are only going after crimes that were already committed because they are the one in power. I can bet my neck, before we get to 2029, they will be at the top of that list and they know who they are targeting in the very end. So they get the beginning. You watch. That's why I said there is an anti-graft exercise. They are giving due process. It's in the Supreme Court as well. So nobody can say there's a political wish one. That's a lie. Don't buy that. The minute get warming up. That's just what they are doing.
The real thing that started warming up. The minute let me tell you something. The minute have calculated that they get approximately 4 years. So the monk said they are strategically and methodically going after certain people. Why do you think they're picking certain people? Especially the one that are in close proximity to Georgia. Nobody when you read about the news bulletin. We don't want to tell the truth. You're not allowed, but we don't want to tell the truth. We're not here for legging business. At the end of the day, that legging can put food on my table.
I think you guys will join you after the news break.
No. Tell what, my man. You're joining us.
We'll take our. Why you come back or what?
No, my man, you're coming back. All the shows I leave for a little break.
That's what the show that you come out. We can do the 15 minutes. Oh, Steve gone already, but then let's just go. Let's get to the 15 minutes.
All right. Yes. So, Mark, so you can go ahead. We join you in a split second. Let me see how better to do some adjustment. You just come here.
No, but you're going for a break. So we'll take our break. My man, we got to go drink some water and stretch our legs too.
I see.
Let's just meet after the 15 minutes because I know you won't go behind the scene to be listening. But let's do the 15 minutes. We'll come back. We're in it. Interesting today. All right. Everyone stay there.
Living in a house. Or maybe 1 year, 6 months. Were you renting or?
Yeah, I'm renting.
Did the Ministry of Apollo where people get your any paper that they come to come pray the play down today?
Yeah, give up people what they sell. The people of Peru coming, they sell December 2nd.
In the paper they told you December 2nd. So they coming where they were coming today, didn't tell you?
No. I'll go to go look for the place. To go look for a place now.
Okay.
Yes, I leave there now. My son called me saying, Mama, machine around. Well, telling the people to give us time to take the things they send.
You were going to look for a place for you to move already after they gave you the notice. So now they break your place down. You were not here. How you managed to get your thing out?
I'm not even getting anything. You're saying, I always say, I'll tell you, nothing I take for any of us.
All your thing left in the house.
Nothing I take. All the things that I say.
So why you think the people breaking the place? Why you think the people?
Man,
they sell
that's pretty good.
They sell the party.
So when they time they came to break the place down, they didn't tell the people in the house say you all take your thing. Eh? When the time they come, somebody was there.
My son was here.
They ain't asking to take.
They didn't do anything. They said they called me not take anything.
So the people say the time they come here, they were just telling me that the time they come here, they say they wanted to break the place down, but they put a chunk in there with rock.
No, they were breaking the place down. The people they were talking say you shouldn't break the place because you get the people from now to December 2nd. And you told the people again you okay and something to settle themselves. But now you are breaking the place down without getting the people anything. So that the place they not keep on.
Oh, yes. Wait, I want to say something here. The time they get the people,
yes.
They told you say they will give you money for you to find place.
Yes, yes.
The time they come and break the place, I don't get the money.
Even to her to pour out in and pour out in.
But how can I see only your one horse they break down? Why be your other horses in there?
Why they starting place here to go?
They start on your own?
Yes, they start on my own. They starting here to go. Here the landlord. They starting from here to go. Only 2 questions and which we 2 in the hospital break our place. The hospital plus me.
But yeah, why I want to say because as soon as they finish with your horse, then they go back. Why?
They go because Joseph came and post up to them that I shouldn't be there because you're taking the people from the place, you're supposed to gain them something.
Also meaning they go back outside, Joseph make it go back.
Yes.
So now your teenage also now, what you carrying it?
I don't get nowhere to go because I don't even find a place to go.
You how many in the house? You and your children? You got children?
Yes.
How many?
5.
And where your husband? Where your husband?
I live on separate.
Oh, you're separate. So now I see your teenage also you lose all your teenage. Someone then left in the place. They put it. Oh yeah, I see. I'm not even seeing mattress. This is a serious challenge for you. So what message you sending out there?
Same message to put there.
I don't know what to say.
You are really looking for a place to move. I'm not fun. And they come behind me to come break the place down. I don't get no place to go. Me and my 2 sisters for my children.
What's her name again?
Her name was Fige.
When you're even starting, like, it's an issue. It's something that she has to pray. Were you there too? So can't let hear from you too. Let's speak to the other lady.
I don't want to say the pocky who peg the post out of my peg over out to the post. No, again, I hold a body, made a man push me away. They better move it for me. Martin, no make Martin here. Yes, no, from the theater, no, as I beg, but you Martin, a person they can't agree. Eh, tell they say that you are coming back to tell the middle of the poor coming. You will settle up because the people are on our road. And see that you are waiting for them. When they don't come back to tell the meeting, wherever the war in it, they better not roll. If they want to take you out to take, not be able to the war in it. They post no. I tell them, she said, I almost said, leader said, they post that John and no, I'm not in it. Poor Ken, I want to say, the government is up. The player said, I'm reading it. It was a while that I said, I don't want to get some money, but I think I'm not.
So you're renting too?
I'm ready. I landed it. They get ready for me. I don't want to get it open. I get it.
It's now public. It's now a rule.
They play now rule. They patrol now rule.
What the government doing?
So listen, I want hello, Fange.
Yeah.
Pay attention. I want to ask you something. How long you been living to that place?
I pay almost 10 years, my boyfriend. Because you travel, you left me here.
So the time you're buying that land, didn't you say you're coming land?
My left I know, yeah. But for that woman,
you know forever that woman.
Yes, we know that woman. But we make woman. So if you woman say want to, who put woman in people now? If we was still on the soil, it will get it. It will not work it. So if you are here coming down to feel for all, and all him will be here, and all people in here. We're not putting that to tear from our eye. We're not putting that for okay or back. Yes.
Why is it coming to here?
They say that I won't get a road at it. They won't get a road at it. Penny a day, behind the pan. And you see, so I get a road. I screw the first day here. We move our kitchen upon the road. Go to a pair of alley. They pass for ever. But we saw a pair of they penny the road. They thought I go very sure. They said another days. Another days after that here. Go here for him. So they say, oh, you're not worried. We'll talk to the people who come for your move.
Because I know that Sir Joseph and the other senator have been talking with them that they should cease the demolition until February next year.
Yes.
So I don't know how
come because they sort of come here on a who's the guys sort of come here. People will move from here. And they can say, I'm not rush. We'll come here February. And you see, we'll come here February. So when I say, I'm going to come here today. Even the guys who beg you, they will beg you. Oh, what's in it? They posted no. I will pay for it. That shopping me. That did that war.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. They will not be able to fair. They will be able to fair. But I go with put us here, people. They will not go free. I go with put us here. When I will not get me, I did not go to. I'll go with fair for why it did to her. Jesus. I don't know where they are. What for that coming? What they will get long. Never come here. Never put it. They come here. They won't come here. But I get people up. Don't get their artists. They say no. You get their artists. They will be a wicked. They want to wicked. They want to wicked. I want to put us here people. They will get it. They don't want to go. They don't want to go. They will get it.
So oh God, what is that?
When sending everything, you're going
So ya pues no voy a we'll put it on the live later on. Maybe you get somebody to what's the name?
I drink so they will put water.
So that's it. We are still here in the Rototown community where the demolition exercise took place. Where's the guy? No, the guy who's here, boy. I want to go up there and come back to me again.
Go in a place.
So you can see that lady that was crying. This is her property. This is the house she was living in. They got demolished by the Ministry of Public Works Demolition Team. Ooh. Let me see what my next point here. This is the property. So the woman, that lady is in a serious situation right now. She's in a serious situation right now. She actually need assistance right now to find a place for she and her children. According to her, she and her children was living here, renting from a particular place, but she had gone out to look for a place so that they can move after receiving the notice from the Ministry of Public Works about the demolition. And while she was in a field looking for a place for she and her children, she got a call from her son that the public works team was here demolishing her property. Upon her arrival, her entire home was being demolished. Almost everything left in the house, and she lost everything. So this is it. This is how it looks like. So we'd like to say thanks so much for watching, wherever you are. We just wanted to bring you this quick update here from the Road to Town community, where this demolition exercise. Can what are you? What did you come do?
The money by Larry. The people that come with the PP talk there, they can't start breaking the poor and the poor say, oh, everything about the money in the hall. They say they get take away all. The leader, they start moving everything. I was senator from Mother Town with Sir Joseph, now someone knows where you trying to tear guy off. Yeah.
Why they were trying to tear guy? What were they called?
Sir Joseph say, oh, Sir Joseph tell them say, oh, your just can your break up got talk for the people from now to February.
Okay.
From now to February. Then you just come today, you say you're breaking the area down. Yeah, the person will break the area down. Start making noise, and not pushing Sir Joseph car to come way here. Just for the machine to not pass. They don't own doors open, they start chunking tear gas. Everybody start running.
But the information is that you were chunking rag, that's true?
No, people chunk tear gas. We're not chunk rag, people chunking tear gas. Yeah, they put tear spell the senator. People tear spell the senator. They put the senator, they get town, they get the senator president. Yeah, I got to come to the post, they got tear spell the senator, tear spell the police. High star.
That one that they started chunking rag?
Yeah, no, they trying to tear gas for the good to move. I got to put to trying to tear gas to cover it, they will start chunking the rag. What happened? Yeah.
So how many horses they bring down here?
Almost 3. I'm making mistake. 3 years. 3. About 2 a year. Plus I want is 4 years. But 2 a year. Think clearly. So they want. Yeah.
So they only stop because of Sir Joseph?
Yeah. And the behavior of the community people about what we're talking there. Yeah, I made it stop. Yeah.
But then get any notice concerning you all to move on to the place here?
They get notice. The president, our representative, going to go have the meeting. They say over now to march. Yeah, to march. Yeah, they just going to give everybody small thing they want to go. Yeah, then the moon just come expecting it. Yeah, I was bring the problem here in the morning. And the media make you fast. They tell the people to move it in there. So put in the all the spoil it, damage it. See the more water. They leave all the damage it. They push not enter. Yeah.
Okay. So that's it here. Okay, you are not here. Okay.
Well, I'm Nelson Bush Jr.
Okay.
Well, I'm Nelson Bush Jr., resident of Rodona community. This government, who I was very this month because we not respecting it. It took order to give another match. So we don't know what we see this morning. Why people are on the field looking for area. Then, at the end of the day, we saw police. First we saw the police. They attack us from the both ways. Kill us so. Before them, we saw the truck coming in along with the get machine. I would say it was like fun or the joke. But when they got it now, the Prime Minister already put it.
Wonderful. So we're back after the news bulletin. Yes, indeed, that video. That's in fact, these are some of the happening back home. The Public Works Ministry, in fact, they have their exercise on is that the Rototown, right? Yes, indeed, the Rototown era, where they were demolishing some of the makeshift building, to construct the road. So, folks, if you're just joining us, thank you so much for joining us. And Mr. Dollar is right here. Mr. Dollar will be back after the news bulletin, Mark. And yes, so I don't know whether the two of you are following. If so, one some of the things that maybe that some of you capture from the news bulletin. If not, then let's continue with our discussion here tonight.
Well, I just saw the video. There are so many moving parts to that video, and when you look at it, it's kind of heartbreaking because you don't want the things already tough in the country before talking about relocation, especially if you are caught off guard. But the one thing that I know, you got to look at the legal aspect as well. Squatters' rights are not applicable on government property. That's something I know. But if there was a negotiation in place that they were to come back in March, then why would they want to come and destroy the 3 houses in the entire community? That's something we look at. And apparently they were counting on their lawmakers themselves to do the bidding for them. But apparently the executive overpowered the lawmakers because they know that they have more right. The Public Works Ministry carry more power in that regard. Even though he's a lawmaker, he can appeal. The only conflict here is if you are giving it up to March, then what comes before March to destroy their property while they are in the process of searching for new homes? I don't know. That's the part that I took out. And you looking at people that Lofty in that video with 5 kids, it's now an easy thing with her landlord. So it's hard. Maybe they should, that's when you look up to your lawmakers, because if he was there to mediate, then I don't know what become of the mediation and the outcome that they will still go on to destroy some of the makeshift structure. But the one thing that I know, in the case of the government always exercise eminent domain right, and squatters' right are not applicable to a government land or government property. So it's not a winning case for them. People can only assist them on a humanitarian basis, but I don't think they got any legal standing in this regard. Yeah,
so Mark, you are quite correct, even though I have so many questions to even ask you and Mr. Dollar. But I know what Mr. Dollar has said already. Mr. Dollar, even though we're hearing later news from our news bulletin that the Ministry of Finance has submitted the 2026 national budget, in the tune of 1.2 billion.
Yep.
So, yes. Yeah. That's great. Great news for our society. Great news for our country. But I know what Mr. Dollar has said already. Mr. Dollar, are you there? Mr. Dollar?
Oh my God, what kind of thing is it?
Well, so is that Mr. Dollar is struggling? Yeah, Mo, so what say you with the latest news about the budget? Even though
it's just new stealing from more people, lawmakers precisely, and the people in the executive to get rich. Because we had a budget of 800 million, and we talk about budget shortfall, talk about increasing it by another $400 million, right? Because we're talking about 1.2 billion with a B. So think about that kind of an astronomical leap. You ask, well, if the economy is not expanding, if you're not bringing investment into the country, how are you going to make up for a budget you couldn't reach to 860 or 880 million? And now you are about to maybe quadruple it to 1.2 billion. But they're doing it for a reason. They will do it for a reason. You know, there are a lot of contracts being ratified right now, you know, oil blocks and everything in the deal. They're anticipating what they are going to do next. So they will inflate the budget, get their kickback, get their cut. Then at the end of the day, they will go and recast and start making cuts in places that they need. It's the same old thing every year, Mabel, because no matter how you explain it, like I said, the vast majority of the people or the public don't understand how this thing works. You can explain it from now to Judgment Day, they won't get it. Only a few people understand this thing. Our people over there, they don't understand the intricacies. So the reason they will do that, they know there will be kickbacks. We're talking about oil blocks. We're talking about a meter. We're talking about other deals that are being rectified. So exactly, they're anticipating that we know how we can expect this in government royalties. We know how much will be coming in. So let we inflate the budget again. And then when we go for the recast, we already get our pay, and then we can walk out and leave the Liberian people hanging for themselves. That's the same old game.
Wonderful, Mark, because at the end of the day, Mr. Dada quickly, I don't know what he said. Are you?
Yeah, I'm around.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Dada, we're getting you. Go ahead. What say you with the latest news that Liberia, long last, our country now, we can now boast of $1 billion budget. No need now for our people to struggle. No need for poverty. No need for our people to be thinking about calling some of you out there about handout or so forth. We now reach 1.2 billion. That's the latest news coming from the Ministry of Finance and now the government of Liberia. What say you?
Well, it's a good news for me, but provided if it can be implemented. Because saying something and do the same thing, do something is quite a different thing. So obviously, if they are saying something like that and it happened, I think it's a good news for the Liberian people. But I hope people will get their salaries on time, and it's something that the rescue government said that they're going to do. That is to make sure that to augment the salary, the salary that were cut by the former government to make sure that and give the people minimum wages. I think if they can do that with the budgets that they're talking about, I think that would be better. It's a very good news. I hope they will implement it so everybody can feel it.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, I disagree with that, but good news. That's not great news. When you are on the record for recording budget shortfall every single year, and the people, you increasing the budget, and people cannot see the impact of the increase, then it's not a good news. It's just another way of money laundering.
Yeah, Brazil mom. If you in a real given situation, if someone say, I will build a skyscraper for the community, it's a good news. But if you don't build a skyscraper for the community, it become what? It become a disaster and bad news. So what happened to you?
No, Mr. Dollar, I think the old hand you're getting it wrong on this one. When you promise to build a skyscraper in 10 years and you cannot do it once, why should I take the 11 years seriously?
Yeah. Well, the people are just saying it. Let's wait and see whether they didn't do it. Then we hold them accountable. We hold them responsible for the the statement that they made.
So let's go back, Mr. Dollar, so let's go back to the issue of salaries. And I don't like the way if I put it. Well, I think we will take more time on this entire thing before going back to our people to even interact with them. But Mr. Dollar, go back to the issue of salary. Government always, in fact, those government officials, they are the direct beneficiaries of all of these monies, budgets, back to back, because they had the fast salaries. And I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe what's going to happen to the least men out there, Mr. Dollar.
Yes.
We stand to be corrected that we got to do research on our budget to know as what are maybe the salaries, equipment for the civil service or not. But Mr. Dollar, what say you? Because the government official, they will always carry the huge portion of the budget.
You know, excuse me, maybe one these people were coming in, he said that what CDC did, they compromise the people's salaries and cut down the people's salaries. So they're going to make sure that to do increasement of the people's salary and give the people minimum wages. And since then, they've been struggling with it. And they come over with this statement today. They say they have got a huge amount of budgets for the fiscal years. So I hoped that information should be able to help the average government worker, not only the ministers and the deputy minister and so on. I'm talking about the civil servant should have a minimum wages and the salary should be current. That's what I'm talking about. If that is not happening, then definitely the citizen need to take serious.
But this is a problem, though, Mr. Dollar. Someone will say,
the government of Liberia, because they've been lying to them. When they were coming in, they come in into the power. They said that they're going to do this, they're going to do it.
Well, Mr. Dollar, maybe I don't know, but these are normal trend where the government officials.
I'm not hearing you.
Are you not hearing us? Well, okay, but Mark, what say you? Because the entire budget now Liberians, someone will say, maybe why are you celebrating? Like,
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Someone asking me, maybe why are you celebrating? Yes, indeed, I have to celebrate because first of its kind that will be having $1.2 billion budget. I think that's big volume, so we will celebrate. But again, we will going to hold our government accountable as to how this budget is going to be used, what's going to happen, and what's going to be there for us as people. But Mom, what say you? Because there are so many
I don't know why
questions.
it's there to celebrate, and I won't celebrate. Like I say, I already know what's going on. Because let me tell you something: when you going back to Madam Salif administration, whether Liberia was in debt and bringing the government budget up to $670 million on average, we were still recording budget shortfall. We recorded budget shortfall for the past 10 years in a row. Every year it's a recast. Then they came out with $880 million, but according to their own report, they were focused on $670 million or $680 million. Okay, we still seeing people. We haven't seen increases in wages. We haven't seen a lot of capital intensive projects in the country. Civil servant pay is not being elevated. So how can you tell me that the government that cannot be sure of raising $800 million will take a budget to $1.2 billion, that $400 million extra? But like I said, I know what's going on, because when you look at a road deal that they want to give to the solution company, there's the public-private partnership, something chairmanability raised up today, but not too many people follow that story. Because when it comes to spending an appropriation bill, it starts in the House, right? So chairmanability is saying you are violating the Constitution, you are violating the House standing orders and Rule 39 and 40 and Article 34 of the Constitution, because you cannot be debating or spending bill in the Senate when it wasn't submitted to the plenary in the House. How that work? Because in our agenda, we don't have anything for discussion. We never debated on the whole contract that will be awarded to the public-private partnership. And even Amara Conan said the same thing. We don't even have a framework in place. So how can you take a spending bill that was never presented to the plenary in the House and all of a sudden all the way in the Senate and you are debating about it? So that's what they are doing. Don't forget, after Eze is back in Liberia with the oil block on the table, the Orento is back on the table. Acelo Mita. So they are looking at their package again, because all these deals, they will come with sign-up bonuses, they will come with kickback. That's why they will inflate the national budget. They know they won't come anywhere to raising $1.2 billion. But like I said, they will pass this deal, they will pay themselves first, they will walk away with millions of dollars, and at the end of the day, they will recast and go cut in places where we need the most money. For education, for healthcare, for road, they will slash it across the board. But by then, they have already walked away with their sign-up bonuses, and they are good. That's it. Every year, single thing.
Wonderful, Mark. And exactly that's the point right there about for some of us right now, we don't want to go that way because we want to give our government all of the benefit of the doubt so that they can think that maybe we're against them because these are perceptions, this is the way they think. So again, Mark, I 100% agree with you that some of these things are all politics, and we hope and pray that there will not be no budget shortfall. Those of you, or in fact, those of us who are celebrating, let us celebrate. But we got to.
No, don't use that word. I hope and pray. You don't hope and pray for something that will never happen.
Well, Steve, welcome right here. But you want to give me another show.
Well,
welcome.
Bill, I've been listening to y'all. You see, this is the problem we have in the country, where we think we hope and pray for things to change, when, in essence, the previous steps that people have taken have proven that I don't care how much you do it, it will not change anything. Melbourne, if you get $5 US, you get $5 US. And they say Melbourne $5 US here, you get it for 1 whole year. We want you to manage the $5 US for 1 whole year. But every day you go back to the person who gave you the $5 US and complaining that, oh, the $5 US show, it show, the year not finished, he said, right in June, by rainy season, you go to the person, you complain that it show, and the money where you give the $5 US, you can't even make it for the whole year. And I don't know how I spend it. So now the person who gave the money start looking for money, different places to be able to give it to you after 6 months. $5 US, you can't manage it. They might double the $5 US and give you $10 US. You think you'll be able to manage $10 US? That's exactly what happened to the budget.
Okay.
So y'all who celebrating the budget started to say, some of you guys don't love the Liberian people. You are hypocritical.
Oh.
People can go against government. Let me tell you today, that notion will get in Liberia. That, oh, nobody can fight government. You can't go against government. That's not true. You can go against government. When government is corrupt, when government is criminal, when government is irresponsible, reckless, and lying, inept, and incompetent, you can go against government. And it's not a sin. You're not going to hell for that. There is nothing wrong with you going against government. Now, it's wrong when you go against government and they're doing good, and you just choose to go against the government. Then that's the wrong place. So we have to understand this thing in Liberia, that you can criticize government, you can call on government. So this idea that we got to hope and pray that it will do well. After 2 years of having a budget of 800 million, in less than 6 months, they come back to say they want to recast. And you tell me, say you get in 1 point. You know how much they added there? They added 600 million.
Yeah, can you imagine that?
Can you imagine? Almost half of the budget that they have. Only 200 million remain. But you know why they did that strategically for them to not make it 1.4 billion? You know why they did that? Because they don't want to see you, they don't want you to notice strategically that they are stealing half of the budget or the same budget a year. So what does that mean? The budgeting that you're talking about. Let me tell the Liberian people a simple thing. Those of you who passing around singing praises for them, you know, you're cheering them who still 10-year-old, 7-year-old. All the money that they made making, building BB houses and traveling around, and the women are spending it. The children are spending it, enjoying all your expense. Now your children who 10-year-old, maybe your daughter will pay for it. You know that.
I was not the one that building in there though, because they said there's allegations.
This is serious. This is serious. What is cheating that people doing? Your daughter will pay for it. You know why I'm not including any one of my child or children into it? You know why? Because they live in America, so they will not have to deal with that foolishness you got going on over there. So you guys who are the parents, if you don't stay against these criminals now and speak against them, they're putting children in that you're not born in our country, you're in debt. Generations and generations to come, we have to pay for the debts that you guys trying to put you in. If you don't know that, these men are eating the future. Right now, they're eating your future. And we need not to sit around and fool around and make it look like it's a joke. It's not a joking matter. They're doing you no favor when you hear them announcing that they got 1.2 billion. What they're telling you is they're about to get rich in the first 3 years. And you're making noise about Finabono. This is Finabono 5-10 times. You're here today. So that thing where you're joking around with, and you're passing around celebrating, and you're continuing. Now you're cheering and will suffer. Let me tell you something. I don't give a damn. I'm saying on the radio on the show. When I see your children sitting down in the mud or in the water, and you come here, unless I'm on the show, I want to see who the man or the woman that will come and say, who might collect money so that they can buy chairs for them. And I'm part of that foolishness. I don't subscribe to that kind of nonsense. Because these guys are stealing from you, and you will not come here to embarrass us, to beg other people, or to put your problem on other people when you can stand up for yourself and stand up to the goons and the criminals and the con artists you got over there calling leaders. Who say you get this? I'm saying this so we can be on the record. Because your children will sit down in mud and poo water again to go to school. I just want to be clear about
But the thing, right?
Yeah.
You don't even need to go to school. It's just common sense, right? When you increase a national budget, it means the economy must be doing better, more people working, and more people paying taxes to the government. In the case of bro, you are complaining that things are getting worse. So if things are getting worse, then how can the government be growing this budget? It means it's a lot, just from a common sense perspective. Because you can't be complaining about poverty and things are hard, people falling in the street, they're dying from hunger, no job, and then you're telling me you are taking your budget from 880 million to 1.2 billion. But yeah, it's one example, like Steve said, they are eating their children's future. There's a company that is about to award $364 billion, $1 for the roads in the Western cluster of Cape Man, Bapulu, as under with Bo Wallace and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a deal. They said it's 25 years project. And Amrakona is saying that even when you look at the feasibility of this particular project, we don't even have that much car. Even in Tobudo City, will be able to collect their share of the bargain within that same time, whether it's 16 years or 25 years. So the question you ask yourself, where these other extra hundreds of millions will be coming from? But like Steve said, they know what they are doing behind the scene. And when we talk this thing, too many people won't buy into it. They don't care. They are not interested in where the problem is in Liberia. You can explain it all you want. You can rage against the government, but the people who are being affected, they cannot interpret this information to understand in layman terms. No matter how you put it, they don't care.
And it didn't mock, and that's just a fact because the people choose political party. They choose party over their own country. Let me frank, Mark. You know, that's why some of us will be celebrating anything that they celebrate. Let me frank. Because they're where they want to go. So we'll go there, all of us. And let's see as to what's going to happen next. Because you, quote unquote, you claim that you don't have job. You don't have food. Your family, they're all struggling. You don't have nothing in your life, but you come up and be defending government. You want me to come and tell you, no. Let go, all of us will go. So, no, you are quite correct. To see our people from 800 million, that the budget that we all, in fact, we've been struggling with, where today, quote unquote, that our people, they are still living in abject poverty. And government is now coming to tell us that, yes, we have $1.2 billion. Good. For me, Monk, I was celebrating every day I come here on the show.
1.2 billion with a B.
That budget. That the AFL, those are my brothers and sisters who in the army, they're ready to make some of our life better. Because we'll be calling you people so that our life can get better. Those of you who in the police, we don't want to see you anymore harassing these tricycle, the motorcycle back to back. No, don't do that. Because for the 1.2 billion, you want your life to be better. If we see police officer harassing motorcyclists, look.
If we can carry the national budget of 1.2 billion, then you should be paying every civil servant at least $350 at the lowest level, $350 per month. Then I know you're making progress because it means people will feel it, they will be impacted. Because when you're paying the firefighter, the policemen, the nurses, and everybody at least $350 US per month, then I can say, yes, you're growing the economy to support that. But people complain about poverty, you can't even reach the $800 million clearly, and you're telling me you want to raise 1.2 billion.
Politics is this?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is it politics? But no, more than enough people go to the line.
Nothing much. Yeah, open the line, bro.
All right, let's go to the line. You know, with our people 0770-203125. That's the number for you to call this evening to be part of the SKTV show. Please go straight to to the point to this first caller. David King, good evening.
Good evening, my brother. Let me say good evening to the rest of the panelists there.
My brother, good evening. We now remove from poverty. I don't know what we're heading to, but good evening.
My brother, we got 1 billion, we got 1.2 billion now. We got 1.2 billion project. So that proposal they have made, it is not going to reflect on the life of the Liberian people. Monja plays it right. Yes, sir, 800 million. What happened? We have to recast the budget. People are not taking pay yet for the month of October. We're in November. So people continue to get rich at the extent of the Liberian people, and they're pretending like they're going to do anything good. I listened to the president when he returned. He said we're going to make sure we develop this country. They're not going to take time. It's not going to be rapid. It's going to take time. But how you going to develop this country when you've been making several travels and nothing coming back to the country as a dividend? When you're talking about building a country, talking about putting young people to work. Why have been the first company that have come here and provided jobs like Brooklyn through your instrumentality as a president? The president is making a lot of promises and they continue to get rich at the expense of we the poor Liberian people.
All right, thank you so much. To this caller quickly. Good evening. Yes. Yeah. Yes, thank you for joining us. Go ahead from Riyadh.
Why you generating? What do I have to know? Why you put it? Not there. You have to put it out. No battery coming. No battery coming. I can.
Wonderful. Good. Go ahead.
So it's wrong to feel out in a bit to go to a line. But the point is the party is that they are party. When I tell you that very little, there may be a party. Just talking with people. Not get that for young people. But me, I have to be young people. I have to talk with young people. Yeah. Because for one, I can break. What a good thing. And I was not meant to come out with this picture. Or the same money. Come on the phone. You get a phone. Because you're not doing your phone. For me, young people, you make your turn higher. You support it. You want to get. Why they do to you? They will short me. They have to come for 2 months tomorrow again. Because they have their money out there. See, that's wrong.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Pascal Davis. Good evening, my brother. We now hit 1.2 billion, my man.
So, this is Pascal Davis. I want more to help me. You know, more is my best. That's why we can disagree, but it's my best. So, more 1,200,000, I think it's 1 billion. 1.2 billion, it should be 1,200,000 mathematically. So, the country is.
No, not 1,200,000. That $1,200,000,000 extra.
Yeah, one.
No, I mean Pascal David. No, get it. You getting the mathematics wrong.
Pascal, Monk is saying is 1.2 billion. I mean,
billion, not million. When you say 200,000, then not 1.2 million. When you say for billion, then they put a million.
Yeah. So go ahead. Oh, the guy just
1.2 of a B.
When you return, that will develop the country. They ask a question. Is that how you're going to develop the country? Because mathematically, as per what you use just on travel, it's 20 million. This is what they have used. Plus the 10 million that you use in 4 years. Plus the 1.5 million that you use to purchase those laptops. Is that how we're going to develop the country? And Mr. Gafan saying you can win the public. Like Mo said, how many of our brothers understand the issue? How many of them even understand that it is just a production? The other time it was 800 million. You could not even raise up to 700 million. So there you can, you say it is 1.2 billion, like Mo said, 1,200,000,000. Some people,
all right.
When our hospital cannot even have them.
All right. Thank you so much, Pascal David. To this caller, good evening. Yes, go ahead.
That is what some of us the government. You projecting $1.2 billion where in companies, concession companies giving more upon the Liberian people than why giving to the Liberian people. I can say you projecting $1.2 billion So in company are not doing anything in our country. Look at fire, so fire is not producing rubber, condom. Look at that, they're taking all their taken out of the country and Latvia has not giving anything. They say you want to project for 2 billion. Nobody coming here you just need to corrupt the Latvian people. 317 and some of them are not taking people to now they want to say projecting for 2 billion. They're going to be recapped again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I don't know you don't want your life to be improved. So let's call up. Good evening. Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, neighbor, and your co-host in the diaspora, and Mr. David Council across under the street like in Lower Johnson area. That budget is just a number that is written by people, but it's not and reflected in the living condition. It will not be reflected in the living condition of the Liberian people. It's not an actual. It's not everything about Unity Party and just like Walker Unity Party is based on imagination. It gets a vision that will not come to reality. That's how it works. And lastly, to the issue of the asset recovery, I would like to agree with where he said their target is real, and that's the reality. The races are on the wall. But let me say this today tonight: if that is the trend that Unity Party is taking, then they are taking a very dangerous path. If we will not be on the ballot before council, it means just like Walker and who will not be there. Then we will go ahead and get that. That's the reality. And people said, lastly, there'll be a war. And that's the reality. Well, these guys came to governance with zero ideas. So they want to create animosity, confrontation, and atrocity in the society. Who was it? And allow Joseph Walker and Jeremiah to be on ballot. They're not going to white. So that they are political away. They're not going to white. The only thing they can do is what? Nothing other than that. We will not stop we are being on the ballot now. It's going to defeat Joseph Walker and Jeremiah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. To this caller quickly. Good evening. Hello. Yes, my brother. Go ahead. Good evening. Your name and from where you join us?
Yes, thank you very much, Lee. This is our biggest family. I think a discussion about marketing the legacy of former after you talking about after you want to visit.
Oh, well, I got issue with me. I gotta be happy too.
Not never let me. Never know people they are very Casting is about 1.2 billion people. That is just a fun. Those guys are reaching themselves. That means there will be no if I never phenomenal that development. Same thing. Making statement is that development. Hey, you said I over there you can just statement. It's that development. That the sacrifice impact. Now what I didn't ever say anything but here. Send the government to follow. To all the budget and this factor. What the impact on the country? You don't know like they're visited. Like you are a visitor. Just setting away to the visitor and looking the girl from the people are saying the soil in the street. But we keep a stand coming and this soil nothing. No problem reality. But I'm going to come in. So what are your family was set up for war with country this country? But the industry, there's only for one I want to say that they don't want to look for them that they don't want to have. So they are doing things that point to welcome into this country. Lawlessness, deceptiveness, you know what is going to put it for you know what I mean? I don't like it. Because they are what man. And the roof is just jumping to this from up. Very angry for it.
All right. Thank you, my dear brother. May go to Brother Louis Pony. Louis, good evening, my dear brother.
I'd like to celebrate the news of 1.2 billion.
Yeah, I like that.
Also joining you.
Hey, thank you. Let's celebrate together, my brother.
I'd like to say hi to Mom and Steve and Mr. Dolly and Carmen and the rest of the panelists. I want to navigate the two talking points. I don't know whether I will have the time. I'd like to touch on the asset. I really admire Mom for being practical, for being brutally frank. Sometimes I like to disagree with Mr. Carmen. The mistake, this is politics. And they will go after. No, but let me say something to you. You can hear political muss. You don't hear political church. You hear political party.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why you see them going after Mr. Benedict is right there. The government is a political party. People can say, don't wish on. I disagree. The government has something they call statute of limitation. 5 years,
Now more than 5 years ago after the previous government, like Mo said. The reason why they are behind most ability because it is not a political party. It's not a political church or political mosque. It's a political party. They believe by building the bridges in around the country, we're definitely projecting and making popular. So they will go after him because they believe that his ability to is not doing it on a humanitarian basis. He's doing it to get dividend, to get numerical dividend. So political party, they will go after Fina. They may likely go after George and the rest of the people. They will definitely go after them. They are political party. The government is politicking. They're not church, they're not mosque. Lastly, I'd like to speak to the budget. I've been asking the question, how priorities derived in the budget? Was it based on allocation? Something I don't like to really worry on the amount. My issue is not my issue is that how the link to get impact our official, let them tear out of the money. Like Mon said, they are done their forecasting, they are done their projection. Or after EC is in town, they got ArcelorMittal, they have to do extension of the mineral development agenda. So they exactly has the ability to raise the revenue envelope. The draft is before the legislature now. They have to look at that draft carefully. Now, my problem even if they realize 800 million or 900 million, even the billion, are they going to impact the life of the teachers next year and that to get increment? With our security sector get increment, when we see a project-driven budget, or you want to go to recurring expenses and to go to people pocket, no official.
Thank you. Thank you, Louis.
Impact the greater life of the Nigerian society.
Thank you so much, Louis. Thank you, man. You get it right. And if you need it, to this call, if not, we'll take one more call, maybe from the WhatsApp line. Yes, indeed, Louis. You know, when I hear to carry the people get a saying, I don't know if fuck to where.
Hello, Nevon.
My brother, good evening. Your name is from where, Jones?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Martin Singletoma, and I join you from Kingsford.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Go ahead quickly.
Okay, quickly, as it relates to your topics on the discussion, I would love to take bone with the aspect that have to do with the budgeting of our country. In the history of Liberia, this is the first time for us to have a budget of 1.2 billion. We have hit the billion mark. I think it is a laudable venture by the government. We as citizens, we should appreciate that and also hail the government for that. And I think our responsibility as a citizen now is that we talk to our favorite lawmakers who are representing us in the House of Legislature so that at least the budget can be distributed evenly, like on a security sector.
Which one of the lawmakers? Because some of the lawmakers, they haven't received any of their I don't know, district development fund, or what you may call it. Some of the lawmakers, they just there, nothing there. The government is looking up to them.
Anybody who have not received their district development fund, there's a law in the country, so that law should be respected. They can navigate their way through the court and file their complaint. There are remedies to that situation. But
all right, thank you so much, Charles Cooper. Quickly, then we'll move back to our team. Good evening, Charlie.
Thank you, Maybon, for giving me the opportunity. Ladies, I'm Charles Cooper from Tuporo. Maybe I can quickly say that budget is an overly ambitious budget that cannot suffice budget shortfall or budget recasting on 3 to 6 months. Maybe the Bible says, he that is not faithful in little things cannot be faithful in bigger ones. In the classroom, we tell our students, if you cannot solve 1 plus 1, you cannot solve 5 plus 5. That's just common logic. You know that budget is already increased by more than 4 million. More than 4 million, and that is not realistic. That is an ambitious budget because you know Kumi is the only man who said that if he becomes president, he can raise the budget to 1 billion. And the United Party guys did not know that Kumi was speaking as a financial expert. Because that is an error. We know that budget error is agriculture. So let him improve the agriculture sector here first. So that budget is an overly ambitious budget that will not even survive for state more than 3 to 6 months. You have a budget shortfall or to recast that budget.
All right, thank you so much, Charles. Could you be there for the ANC? The people preparing for 2029. Well, Mark, we're back after listening to our people. Another one say you, another people.
For me, the people who want to be optimistic and want to give the government props, good luck to them. I appreciate the effort. I'm not going to fall for this. Maybe if this particular proposed budget, right? you are talking about an additional close to 600 million because the last budget for 2025, it was at 851 million. But after the lawmaker then deliberated, it came out to 880 million. But still, there was shortfall. We couldn't even come close to the 880 million. So if you are going to take it from like 850 and carry all the way to 1.2 billion, you're talking about 550 million. That's almost $500 million. Now, they are telling you it will come from their improved domestic revenue mobilization from the LRA. The question is, what we can see in the economy that will tell you that the government will be able to generate additional $500 million. And the second thing they are telling you is it came from external and domestic financing, which means they will be crediting and they will be making arrangement in terms of paying back the debt. So they believe if they can renegotiate the debt with the internal or an external creditor, it will save them more money. But the question is, if we are bringing in additional 500 million, why would you want to still be financing debt? Because we got one of the largest debt now. I think our debt stock is 2.7 billion, both domestic and external debt. So why will you be raising the kind of money when we cannot even see the indication in the economy is going to come in and we're close about? My brother, we can say all we want on Sktv. At the end of the day, it remains the same. So good luck with your new budget.
Maybe you don't understand something. Maybe the people that are negotiating with another company, for example, a Sktv-Lib. So you don't know what's going to happen next. Oh, yeah. But now, Mr. Dollar, what say you?
Yeah, to be honest, in this conversation, this second to the last guy who just said that those lawmakers do not have that consequences finance should go to the law. You know, I don't know whether the person living in Labrador or he living somewhere in his car. Because quite recently, the government that controlling a nation right now, it doesn't know what they call law. It doesn't respect rule of law. Anywhere these people go, there will be no redress. Full stop. You're supposed to first of all know that. So then you say that the lawmaker then should go to the court and take their issue to the law and here and there and when they know that they're not going to get no redress. So it's just a fiasco. But what Monk is saying concerning about the budget issue here, for me, my belief, that's my personal opinion, is if someone say, I got you amount of money compared to yesterday, and I can solve all the problems, then I will give you the chance to come on the floor to perform. If you don't perform, then I hold you responsible for your statement. That's how I see this particular budget issue to be. Because I know they've been lying to the Liberian community for ages, for several occasions. They came with lie and they continue to be lying for 2 years now. So every day I seen this, so be it. That's what I can say. Because what else some of us can really do? We want to say, okay, thank you very much for that progress you're making in terms of finance. Demonstrate.
Thank you, Mr. Dollar. Yes, thank you, Mr. Dollar. Yeah, more quickly.
Let me tell you something. The recent time on the same show, right? For the people who celebrated, I can see you dancing for your 1.2 billion. I just hold you okay for the Christmas. Let me give you a typical example, right? A salary meter is one of the highest paying highest that employ most Liberians in the country, right? And Nyan Twine and the Unity Party government, other lawmakers been going back and forth that they cannot even meet their corporate social responsibility, right? That they owe in Liberia restitution because certain benefits were supposed to receive, they cannot pay. If one of the largest employer, if not the largest employer, cannot even meet their social corporate responsibility, where are you taking additional $550 million from in terms of mobilization of revenue? Well,
Mark, that will be discussed on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. We just chip in with this topic, but hopefully on tomorrow we will go more deeper to see as to what some of the maybe the budget lines, the benefit are going to come with the civil servant and so forth. But thank you so much, Mark, and thank you you, Mr. Dollar, and the rest of the team.
We see you folks.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll bring you guys next week, but we'll see.
All right.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people flashing that time in the airport I rest. The brother gave me the fear and the premise of death. The work with my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play body so make you I can't Sktv-Lib. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And yes I know money. Emu aye yo. And you love me. Emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money. And I can't play ya to money. And I could do ya to money. And I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money. And I can't play ya to money. And I could do ya to money. And I don't get it now ya to money. That's the thing. And I don't get it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah. Oh.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in